so I think the other side of that is what they don't see. The other side of what they don't see, they meet you when they meet you, right? But they don't see the days where you ain't changed clothes, took a shower. They don't see the days where you had to eat ramen noodles for 3, 4, 6 a year.
You had to sell plasma.
You had to sell plasma. You had to do all
gas in
those
the
other
tank.
things. So which made you harder, made your exterior harder.
They ain't
like,
see you build yourself to where you are.
That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
You ain't seen you build yourself. They haven't seen you do all these things that make you feel like, oh, hell no, I ain't dealing with nothing. Don't come to me with no bullshit. I ain't dealing with no kind of nothing.
Yeah.
But like...
What's happening? Five Kings back at y'all again. We got Trail the Traveler. And we got Cerrone the Barber Businessman.
Let's
Voice
get
of
it.
reason, real voice.
The voice of reason, the real voice of reason.
I'll be that.
We got Jeff, the voice of the people.
Voice of the people.
Right on.
Right.
And we got AB, the health and fitness guru. And obviously I'm Mark Chill, your host, and the content creator, executive producer, as they all say.
All that.
So,
What about our
fellas,
special guest, though? We ain't got no special guest today?
special guest, you know what? We gonna mic her up. We gonna mic her up. Yeah, we gonna mic her up. You here?
I am here, and I gave you guys some good suggestions, and I look forward to seeing
We got
this
an anonymous
podcast.
donor.
We got an anonymous donor in the building. You know what I'm saying? We've been checking out the feedback. You know what I'm saying? We've been listening. We've
Love
been
the
reading the
feedback.
comments. Make sure. Please. Make sure as y'all watching this, please comment. We want to know what y'all take is as we going through this. All right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we want to make sure everybody good. So, Kings, mental check.
What's good?
Let's start with Trill.
I'm a 10. Everything's good. Life is good. You know. So I'm a 10.
Okay. Right on. Voice of the people.
Wow, I knew you was. Why you always diss me? So when I'm not ready, you always diss me. So I was a 10 when I came here, and I'm an 8.
Where you at?
Nah, I'm good, man. Life is good.
All right.
Not to be cliche.
Okay. See?
I'm 100, man. It's a great day.
Great day.
Yes, sir.
You cycling there?
No, I haven't. I ain't been back in business yet, but I'm close.
All right. You look like you just got done selling some Bibles or something.
All that, bro. All that.
Fed the Bible
Out the
school.
house.
Yeah, you cycling, man. You better have some hydration with you, man. It's about 115 degrees out
Oh,
there.
it's serious. It's
All right,
serious.
man.
You gotta be right. You know I got the backpack and stuff to
Oh,
carry
that's
back.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you gotta be right out here.
AB?
Oh man, I'm good, man. You know, I'll say I'm about a good 7. Just got back from vacation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting out of that mode.
Oh, no, where you go?
Where you go?
Little Rocky Point, you know, something like. You
Okay.
know,
Rocky Point what?
Mexico.
Yeah,
But
Mexico.
for the viewers, they don't know.
Oh, man, you don't know my
Yeah, if you don't know what Rocky Point is, man, y'all.
That's on the Arizona thing, though.
Yeah, but ain't all in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the Arizona thing.
Rocky Point,
If
Mexico.
I was in Detroit,
you
I
know,
wouldn't
nice
know.
I don't know
little-
what where is Rocky Point? Wait, Google this
Look
shit
it up.
every day.
Look it up.
That's
what Google's
you know,
for.
Like a trip 4 or 5 hours away, you know, hit the beach, you know, do your thing.
Beach water out there.
It was good to get away for about a good week. That's why I'm at a 7 now, because I'm putting everything back together.
Okay.
How's the currency out there? Was it how much? Like, was the currency good?
It was
I know the currency
18
of
to
paper.
the dollar or something like that.
So
to
you
the
pretty much you
peso.
take American money out there, you can do a lot there and stuff like that.
Either way.
Or did they charge us like
good.
American prices though?
They charge you like American price. You know, at the same time where we were at, you know, you're in a tier C area, so you know the people that's around there, they hustling. So you talk that hustler talk, whether it's in American dollars or Mexican dollars. You know what I'm saying? You can make it happen.
Is that where they got the big ass shrimp? Is that Rocky Point?
I mean, they got the big shrimp at the water just in general, but I like Rocky Point though. I've been there before too.
In Rocky Point.
Yeah.
All right.
Y'all tell us what a big ass shrimp is. Well,
All right. I don't know what a big shrimp.
I mean, at the water. I mean, as long as you go to the water, I mean, I'm pretty sure they got big shrimp, small shrimp, medium shrimp. I sound like Bubba. What's his boy name? Forrest Gump.
Bubba Gump.
My boy right there,
Bubba.
man. Forrest.
Right on. All right.
you, bro.
With y'all, man, I'm a 10.
Okay.
With y'all, I'm a 10.
That's good.
When y'all leave, I'll probably be at about a 5.
Okay.
That's
okay.
real.
Okay.
Just keep it real.
What that sounds like to me?
Like I got a lot of shit going on,
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, man, I got a lot of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very stressful times right about now. But at the end of the day, life keep moving. You know what I'm saying? And one monkey don't stop the show. Keep grind don't stop. So figure it out. And only way to go is up. You know what I'm saying? So
Great.
it is what it is.
Great.
You know?
Upper room or like.
No, from 5 to 10. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what's the word, man? You were saying something, Trill, just before we started the mental check.
So we was talking about, we had like an off camera discussion, and we was talking about what women been, I guess, emotionally unavailable. Right, so, you know, our feedback was like
women or men?
Men are emotionally unavailable.
Okay.
And my intake just from my personal situations and my dealings is that black women, not all, but a lot of them don't like nice guys. You know, you come in.
What's a nice guy?
Yeah, define a nice guy.
So a nice guy.
Russell Wilson's a nice guy.
Go ahead.
Quote unquote. So a nice guy is a guy who will be available, will maybe open the doors, will maybe pay for the dinners, or may not, will text back quickly, will be that guy who will be there for you in that time, opposed to a guy who is a complete opposite, is someone you're chasing opposed to someone who's chasing you, maybe.
You know,
I like that.
I consider a nice guy as just someone that's willing to do what it takes to put a smile on somebody's face.
I like that too.
You know what I'm
Like that
saying?
too.
They'll bend over. I won't say they bend over backwards, but at the end of the day,
But they might.
they're willing to bend over backwards to make sure that your feelings are put before their own. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned men being emotionally unavailable. I think a lot of times that comes from the traumas of the past.
I think so too. Just to throw it back on it, but my personal opinion is too, just from my experiences, I'm not speaking for all, but a lot of black women, or we can say a lot of women, but not all, that how the world has treated women and how guys have treated women. I think from my personal experiences, the modern day woman is not emotional attached. You feel what I'm saying? So like, you might talk to her, she might just act like a motherfucking dude or something. You feel what I'm saying? Treat you like a dude, move like a dude, hold energy like a dude. When I say that, I'm talking about like how we are, like how we supposed to be. They are. So I'm trying to be cool or whatever situation is, and then they one way. You know what I mean? But really, how I grew up, I was bred to be a man and to be a certain type of way. I'm just trying to be laid back, but it don't be coming across that. You know, I don't know.
I think it depends. I think it depends on. I want to hear you go. I definitely want to hear that too. I think it depends on where you meeting these chicks at, these women at, because
I mean, you can meet them at the grocery store, no matter.
But that's not true, because you know I've only
if you meet a stripper, I'm just saying we know what we're gonna get from that, right? You meet a pole dance instructor, we know we're gonna.
But I've met obviously plenty, and I'm 36, so I've met plenty of women in my life.
Damn, 36, man.
Yeah, thanks. But at the end of the day, out of all those women that I've ever met, only one, like a woman that says bruh, you know what I'm saying?
Can't do it.
Hey bruh, that's really weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I've only met one of those women in 36 years. So I can't say that you can meet them anywhere, but at the end of the day, I think it's more so the type of woman that you attract. You know what I'm saying? Like attracts like. You know what I mean? If you broken attracts broken, healed attracts healed. You know, I don't want to say hood attracts hood, but you know what I'm saying? You attract what you are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's pros and cons to it. What you got, Jay?
Well, you said I think opposites do attract too, but I do think sometimes like minds come alike. So if you go into like places, you're gonna meet someone probably that's in the same type of things you're into, and maybe that is kind of the broken thought process in well, she calling me bruh because all of the people she hangs out with call her bruh. So it may just translate into you, but that may not be the woman you want. But then you got to change the circles. Like, yeah, the grocery store might be a good spot to meet a woman, but if you go to the grocery store in the hood, that might be the same type of woman.
Man,
so it may just be, but everybody got cars.
Not to cut you off, I ain't fucking with no woman can drink more beer than me. Look, if she drink more, drink me and beer, I ain't fucking with it. What? No, I can drink some beer, but I ain't saying I drink beer like that. But she drink more beer than me, I ain't fucking with it. That's a turn off for me. I ain't fucking with it.
Say with that.
I just want to throw that in there. That's my pet peeve. You can't look if I go buy 12 pack and she knock down 10 of them bitches. I'm like, it's over with. I ain't fucking with it.
So to backdoor that.
You finding these alcoholic women?
No. I'm just saying, like, I'm like a pet peeve because women can drink alcohol too, and people can drink beer too. But I ain't saying I've dated women that drink a lot of beer. I'm just saying if I was to run across it, it would fuck me up.
I don't date women that drink beer.
I don't mind beer. I don't mind. I go to beer.
Man. What I'm supposed to think.
The voice of the reason.
The real voice of the reason.
Supposed to think.
The real voice of
I ain't got nothing to say.
You ain't got nothing
At all.
Listen, let me finish this.
You put me off with the
Coming
beer,
up.
man.
That's my pet.
We dealt with everything. We dealt with women coming up. I'm talking about coming up. We dealt with women that smoked squares. We dealt with women that had tattoos all on their neck, different stuff. But at this point in life, I
gotta date with tattoos though. Female with tattoos and shit, I like that shit. You said what, P?
Women who had, they pull out razor, they had razors in secret locations.
That's some shit I can roll with, but
that's what I'm trying to say.
At this point in life,
we don't know none of that.
Hell no.
But so we changed up also the circles we run in a little bit.
You evolved.
We evolved. We've taken that next step, the upper echelon, or whatever you want to call it, leveled up, whatever the word is we're using today.
And usually when you're talking about the ones that can outdrink you, they're the ones that ain't done the level.
CEOs are knocked down a whole leader in the day. They go through some stuff, right? Female CEOs or guy CEO, they knock down leader of the day. I'm just saying in general. Some people consider, we're gonna switch it up, but some people consider beer is alcohol, just like alcohol just depends on what you look at, right? I'm just saying my
But wait, let's bring it back.
Well, we done.
Let's bring it back.
I know I fucked through y'all over there.
Let's bring it back to the emotionally unavailable.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's jump back.
At the end of the day,
You lost me with the beer, man.
Man, look, if I bring over 12 pack,
We sorry.
What?
We sorry. We'll get back.
you good.
reset. All right, emotional unavailability. All right, I think that a lot of times when it comes to being emotionally unavailable, is based off of the hurt or the trauma that we may have had in the past that shields us from wanting to be vulnerable moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Because some men look at that as I gotta get a harder shell, so I become harder because I have to, because no one else is ever gonna step on this heart or even come close to this heart again, because I don't want to feel that pain again. So what do I have to do to not feel the pain? So that comes into I'm gonna abuse, I'm gonna do this, but it happens with women too.
I was gonna say women. I think that happens to women too.
Women turn into the same thing, and maybe that's the problem is if you're finding a woman who's doing the same thing, y'all both
attracts like.
Right, y'all both are not available to each other. So once someone does get available, the other one's not, and then there's that whole the fight, tearing up shit.
It's always a push and pull in that case where one person, like, you're never on the same page.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One person is willing to do whatever it takes to bring the other person out of their funk, right? And then that person might not. They don't receive it, right? And then it gets to the point where the person that was trying to pour in gets frustrated and is like, all right, man, fuck it, I'm done with it. And then for whatever reason, the person that wasn't receiving it turns on, and now, you know what I'm saying, it's always a back and forth in that regard. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we need to have a woman we need a woman's perspective on this. How do you get the fuck on the same page? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think in order to get on the same page, I think communication has a lot to do with it. And if you're willing to take that next step past this whole, what I would say, like the honeymoon phase or whatever, you taking that next step in a relationship, or
you deep in the game now. You
deep in the game.
You 4 years in the game.
If you still got walls up and still having these red flags deep in the game, then at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a waste.
Because it might not even be that. In the honeymoon phase, everything's grand. You know what I'm saying? And this is me speaking on experience.
Sunshine.
In the honeymoon stage, everything's grand. But then you get to year 2, 3, 4, and fuck ups then came into play.
Well, let's speak about that because maybe it's
That's,
this.
that's when I feel that's when the communication
Let
goes
me-
in.
let me jump- I completely-
Because
I
that's
can
part of
the game.
communicate from the gate.
Yeah.
You communicate from the gate. Now, is that vulnerability? Who's ready to be vulnerable out the gate? That's the problem. People don't
Nobody.
have real conversations.
But
Yeah, you gotta have those
I
real
agree with you
conversations.
guys, but then I don't agree with you guys. I think that men just in general are emotionally unavailable is because the way we grew up, the way we was bred, the way the earth, the way the environment has, we're a reflection of what's going on today, especially black men.
Don't cry.
Don't cry, have to be hard, alpha mega. If you grew up with a sister close to your age, you got different privileges than your little sister when y'all were growing up. I think, and then when you get older, of course, you get in your first love relationship, of course, that always goes wrong. I think that, and that's why I say I agree with y'all to a certain extent, that I think that kind of add more to it, it just add more to how you grew up.
You just opened another door to. We spoke of this before. If you've talked about it, right? If you get to that point, are we also told to go to the doctor and talk to somebody to make ourselves get out of that?
Black people, we should, but we
Are
not
we?
taught to do that though.
Exactly.
It's not coming out. It's
Exactly.
now it's becoming normal, but growing up, going to a fucking therapist wasn't an option. You just work the shit out.
You
know what
soft,
I'm saying?
or you vulnerable. You're too vulnerable.
Right.
You letting people in your business. That's
Right.
even back to the old days where they used to sweep shit under the rug. You know, such and such did whatever they did, but we can't really talk about it in the public. The family knows, it's family secrets that we never want to let out because we're not gonna be there. Is that, am I wrong?
I think that,
Where you at?
go ahead, see.
No, I was just agreeing. You're right.
What you think on the subject?
I think you should never sweep nothing like that under the rug. And I think that I myself, regularly see a therapist in this, on Zoom, but I just think that's super beneficial. I think everybody needs to know that that's a good thing to do.
I agree with you.
Go see somebody. Talk to somebody.
And even if it ain't a
growing up,
therapist,
it wasn't
like a mentor or
culture.
somebody.
It
It wasn't accessible to what it is now. It is like that. When it probably was accessible, we just wasn't talked. It wasn't talked about. Saying go do it, But now, I got close relatives that go see. Like what you said, you go see therapists on a regular. And I got close relative to go see therapists on a regular basis. That was never growing up. It was never presented. It's like, hey, toughen up, get over it. You're a man. Get over it. Figure it out.
Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow too. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
To be vulnerable, to be vulnerable, and to, I think that we grow up and we see a certain picture, and we think that picture is this.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, when you get older, you realize that picture is what you thought you saw, ain't fucking real,
Right.
or wasn't real,
Right.
and so you
Right.
base a lot of what you thought you knew on, like you mentioned, on your upbringing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's like you're scrambling to find out how should you really, what's a relationship really supposed to look like?
Right.
Is that-
I agree. That shit was hard, bro. I like that shit.
Is
You
that,
hit that shit
I
on
think what he
hard.
also said is that's also the relationships we see growing up. We see growing up whoever we saw as they had a relationship and thought it was a good relationship. And then we got older and found out there's all these other cobwebs and people done.
All types of skeletons in that closet.
Whoa,
Let's
bro.
look at this from this perspective too, though. Men, from my perspective, I can say black men. I can't speak for other races, but just seeing like friends growing up, things that was male, same type of way. Could it be where now it's change? And,
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
And we talk about being emotional, undeveloped, right? Could it be that when we was going through our stuff, we was grooming women that we was in relationships with? Now they are a little bit more emotional, unavailable, like it is now.
I mean, I think it's twofold because
Yeah.
Maybe
we kind of groomed them on the way.
Elaborate on that, man.
So like you say you date this chick, this female, she dates so many different guys or whatever, right? Not all the same, but all had to be tough, bred, hard, how they grew up, right? and all that rubbed off on her now, right? So you date her. Now say you just started
So now
dating her.
she's tough in real
Now
life.
she's tough because what she's been through, right?
Right.
And that's what I think is going on with the modern day women. That shit was from us.
So
we did that shit.
We did it.
We did that shit. Now they are like, not all, but a lot of them like that. So when you try to be like emotional, I've seen situations where guys try to be emotional. She was emotional attached. What you call it? What we just said? The shit was emotional, whatever, attached, whatever the fuck we just said.
What we
She
said
wasn't
was-
there, goddamn it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not being emotionally available.
What you said. She
That's
wasn't there, goddamn
But
it.
whatever the case is, on our end, nobody cares how you got here. It's just the fact I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you could explain
Exactly.
all day where this comes from. People break down stuff. Oh, this comes from slavery. Is why they treat us like this. Nobody cares where it comes from. I just don't want to deal with it.
True
So you're gonna be mad at me because I don't want to deal with it? Well, I'm gonna keep it moving.
Yeah. That's all
And
I'm
vice
saying.
versa. One thing AB said that made 1,000,000% to me is who, in a lot of instances, women are choosing. If they're choosing this 6'7" NBA dude or NFL player or the dope boy, or whatever it is, you're choosing super alpha males. Did you really think that Young Jeezy was gonna be all
Exactly.
emotionally available?
So
If you want that,
Do you think he's gonna go to a therapist?
Touch on that.
If you want that boss or that businessman, he's gonna have that alpha walking around that. He gotta eat, sleep, breathe that shit.
So
And
let me
that
explain.
is what comes with it.
I agree.
That comes
I
with
Women,
agree.
That's
I
part
feel
of
some
it.
women are expecting them
Agree.
to go to this emotional side, and I'm like, man, it's hard for me to switch off to this emotional side when I'm over here on alpha 24 hours of the day.
That's what Sharon said a while ago, was that you can't go into it with the mindset of they're gonna change.
Yeah.
Sit
Not
right
at all.
here.
You
You sit
said-
right here.
Yep.
So let me touch on that. So I think the other side of that is what they don't see. The other side of what they don't see, they meet you when they meet you, right? But they don't see the days where you ain't changed clothes, took a shower. They don't see the days where you had to eat ramen noodles for 3, 4, 6 a year.
You had to sell plasma
You
to
had
put
to sell plasma.
to
You had to
put
do all
gas
these
in
other
the tank.
things. So which made you harder, made your exterior harder. where
They ain't
like,
see you build
I ain't-
yourself to where you are.
That's
when
what I'm
they met
getting
you.
at.
Right.
You ain't seen you build yourself. They haven't seen you do all these things that make you feel like, oh hell no, I ain't dealing with nothing. Don't come to me with no bullshit. I ain't dealing with no kind of nothing.
Yeah.
But
Now
but
I'm at the point where,
look-
oh yeah. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. I'm making this money. I'm doing whatever I'm doing, and you don't fit in that picture. Then within 10 minutes, all right, we done. I'm out.
I agree with you 100%. So time it out. Say if you want to make 6 digits, or you with a guy that want to date the guy make 6 digits or 7 digits or even 8 digits, whatever the situation is. Talk about not turning this shit off, right? So you gotta understand, you can't confuse. Like say the guy might come off as arrogant, but he's not arrogant. He has to be this total type of way, so he built himself to make this type of money. You choosing to date a successful, come in and date a successful guy, right? Whatever he deems success, he make a certain type of money. You want to date a person like this, it comes with being emotional. Sometimes it might come off unavailable, or it might be, or his emotion might be different showing than what you wanted, but it's his way of showing emotion. But he had to be this way to make this
Well,
type
wait a
of money.
second.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was on YouTube that was saying something similar to some of this stuff that you just said. I think he just passed away.
Kevin said.
Kevin
Oh, he
Sanders.
said the same thing?
Kevin
I mean,
Sanders.
Oh, he said the same thing?
Well, I wanted to speak on that because of this.
Oh, for real? I didn't know he said the
Now,
same thing.
everything he said, I think delivery sometimes is what we miss in people. And I think sometimes too is what you're speaking on is if you know how to say it to someone in a way where they still feel like you haven't alienated or you haven't pushed them away from your situation, you're still drawing them in, you still want them to be a part, then you can kind of keep that. But if you keep it on the level of, oh, you ain't shit. Oh, yeah, you ain't never gonna amount to nothing. Oh, you can't deal with what I got going. I think that's when you start to lose maybe the focus of others. That's when you start to say, oh, well, he's too much of an alpha. I can't fuck with him. You know, he's an asshole. Well, why don't he want to do this, that, and the third? Well, it's the delivery. Like you said, it may be what he's felt like he's not going to give up for somebody else. And if he's not gonna give that up for somebody else, then why would anyone else deal with that?
I can understand. I definitely can understand. This whole conversation make real sense to me. I'm glad we talking because I ain't never looked at this shit like this. The way we explain this shit, because I'm looking at this shit. Emotional. What is being emotional unavailable? Well, if I'm in a financial place and I want to keep growing and developing, I'm already at a certain threshold. I have to be a certain type of way because I feel that what got me here. So now I need to work on to get me there. So I'm just gonna be turned on 24/7. Hey, I might come in the house and I might not kiss you on the lips and stuff like that and things like that. But I might show my emotions in different ways. You know.
That's
and
that's and I'm sorry to cut you off. That's where a lot of miscommunication comes into play,
Right.
because if the way that I give love and receive love is different than how the person I'm dating or whatever.
It's called love languages.
I've read
That's
the
what
book.
women say. No, that's what people say. I'm
But
sorry.
at the end of the day, if that's not what you do,
Right.
it's hard to turn that on. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't give two fucks if you told me that I look good or whatever, because to me, I feel like I look good anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not to be conceited, but that's just my self
you got
confidence.
to believe in yourself.
Yeah, but
Right.
for others that might be a thing, right?
Right.
For I might not like getting gifts, right, or
Right.
buying gifts for other people, but other people might like getting gifts. You have to. That's the real tough shit, man. Is being able to tap into something that you ain't for the sake of somebody else's, you know what I'm saying, well-being or mental state. And that's generally how you keep, in my opinion, I think that's how you keep things keep things afloat, is by looking not looking within yourself, but looking without it, outside of yourself.
I got a
I like
question.
that.
And I gotta let my guy AB jump in, and Sharon for sure got something to say, so y'all better listen. So, my thing is this: a lot of these topics are controversial because a lot of people don't want to hear some things that may be truths, or it may be things that make people leave rooms, quote unquote, because it's hard hitting things and it's things that really need to get out. And if you're not having those real conversations, it's the same thing, men or women. If you can't hear what I'm saying because you're already pissed off of how I've said what I've said, and you're not willing to be like, okay, what does that mean? Like, explain it to me. The conversation piece comes back into play because I just tuned you out because I ain't like how you said it to me. No. Let's break it down to make it understandable, because he may say something to me that I don't pick up until the next person says it to me. But he said it, but the other person explained it differently. I'm like, damn, he said it, damn, they're the same thing. Maybe that's what it is too, is we have these communications with people. You know, we go through these relationships, we go through these traumas, and if you ain't never been shot at, I can't tell you how it feels to be shot at. But someone else can break it down to me in a different way on, I don't know, I lost a Game Boy or something, someone stole something from me, I don't know, in a different way, and now I get and understand where they're coming from, and maybe that's what
Communication.
Communication is what's going to help grow anything.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I feel like some people tend to forget when something's growing, you're gonna come across weeds, you're gonna come across days of not watering, you're gonna come across days where there ain't no sun on it. So you gotta figure out how to overcome that. The best way to do it is verbally express it. If you see this person, or at least, and don't get me wrong, it's hard to do. If I'm expressing myself to you and I see you just tuning me out and there's just anger, I'm about to cease the whole thing and I'm gone.
facts.
Holla at me when we could talk about some adults
Thank you.
and we about to get back on trying to solve this problem. If you ain't gonna give me the respect of that, oh girl, you just put up some more walls up. And now there's another issue, because what the modern, or I wouldn't say what modern people do, but what's becoming a trend is people sweeping it under the rug. I wasn't raised that way. We about to talk about this issue.
I
See what I'm saying? So
I agree. We don't get
at
this
the end
shit
of the
out.
day, you still got to communicate. But if you're not giving me the respect to hear me as I'm communicating, eventually I'm just gonna build up more walls. That, like Cerrone said, I'm gone.
What you got to say?
And that's not even and not to cut you off. And when I say on relationships, I'm talking about relationship with your kids, business deals, a woman. Communication is key. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have that. Whether if it's a business deal or me trying to scam you out for 60% over 40 or vice versa, we still gotta communicate. That's key.
Good.
What you think, C?
I agree. Communication is big.
It's big whether you want to hear it or
But
not.
look,
Do you
I've
feel
been,
like-
but here's the thing. I've been in relationships where, in past relationships where they said that I wasn't emotionally, what we say, what's the shit called?
Unavailable.
Emotional unavailable, right? Okay. Well, I feel like I was. We communicated about it, right? You feel what I'm saying? I'm at a certain point, not say success or nothing. I'm trying to get to a certain level. You feel what I'm saying? So it takes a certain type of attitude, personality, I guess a lifestyle. It's not just say you want to do it. And I feel like that I was emotional and I communicated, but it wasn't enough.
See, communication. This is the part that's key. Communication ain't just talking. You got. It ain't hearing either, because I can sit here and hear you talking all day long. If I don't understand what you're saying though, like Jeff was saying, then you hitting the wall. You know what I'm saying? So I know that like if it's something that I'm not uncomfortable, it's something that I'm unaccustomed to, I'm gonna ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to understand I need to understand what you're saying so that it resonates with me.
Yes.
You saying whatever it is, and it's like, okay, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but like, how the fuck am I supposed to change that? You know what I'm saying?
You gotta understand where the person's coming from. And
Exactly.
if you don't, you need to ask questions to be
But final, just the question though. So are we really emotional, unavailable? Are we really?
I think some of us are, and that's where it comes back to the major thing that AB said. It's about who they're picking, because every man ain't emotionally unavailable.
Yes.
But if you're picking, and I was talking about ball players and dope boys and stuff like that, but even if this woman is picking me, it's a reason I'm 43 and I'm single. You know what I mean? I'm running 3 businesses and I got other stuff going on. So when she trying to tell me about something that I'm supposed to be all emotionally available to, I might be zoned out thinking about what I'm trying to do with this other thing. I'm sitting here like, ooh. But do she have to deal with Cerrone? She don't have to. Go deal with old boy down there. I don't know what he's doing for a living or what, but he's got time and he's emotionally available for that.
So I think
So
in
it's
the
your
next
pick.
episode,
I
like
like
he
that.
said, next episode we need to talk about how to get that and how to understand where he's coming from, opposed to where what you're looking at now you're mad at the other guy because he's not Cerrone, because he ain't
But
got
let me
it.
say one thing though, before anything happened, because I know a lot of people probably upset at me for saying something like that. But the bottom line is the same as vice versa. Because a girl at the shop told me once when we was talking in the shop about girls with these Instagram bodies and this, that, and other. She said, the girl barber asked me like, do you really want that? Like, what comes with that? A lot comes with that.
Yeah.
And she was running it down to me what I'm gonna have to deal with.
Dudes,
So
shots, everything
it's
else,
all on
you
my
know,
pickers
yeah.
too.
Exactly.
I'm not just telling a woman she's picking the wrong man in certain instances. I'm saying me as a man, I can't just pick this little bad chick with the Instagram body, or I'm gonna have to deal with some things. She might not want to hear me when I come home from work.
Followers and all that stuff. You gotta
Whereas
deal
if I
with
get
that,
the
man.
girl next door and I come home from work and I want to talk, she might be a little more emotionally available to me. That Instagram model might be on her Facebook talking about what you say.
She ain't worried about no emotions or nothing like that right
That's
now.
how we pick on both sides.
So it comes down to is how you pick and what type of caliber of person you want, and that determines how much emotional. What's the shit is again? Unavailability. My bad. I keep fucking it up.
So to end it like the Kings have talked about today is tune in next time. We're gonna check in with y'all. We're gonna keep it all the way funky and let y'all know what we're talking about. So on that piece, it was real. We out.
Hey, make sure y'all like, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all.